Squawk, fellow sorrowers. Yeah, so I'm going to continue to cover the broadcasts that mainly focus on the vaccine because that's the main focus that you should have at the moment. It should be on what they're trying to push and pull with this vaccination that will very certainly, very definitely, very essentially and very quickly lead to your evacuation. Okay? They want you gone so that they can come. Once they're here, they will not leave ever. They're just on the sidelines at the moment. That's why they pretend to be us. Look like us. Sound like us. Show and tell. But you and I see right through it, don't we? We hear right through it. So, let's see him through and let's hear through her.
Secretary Matt Hancock says the NHS should be ready to roll out a coronavirus vaccine by the start of December if it's approved. But he urged caution, warning that it would be an enormous logistical task and it wasn't clear how many people would have to be vaccinated in order for life to return to some sort of normality. If regulators decide that it is safe...
What did she just tell you there? She told you that if enough people don't accept the vaccine, normality, yeah, right, what's that? The normality of what they've put in place now won't go. It won't be taken out of place until the numbers hit the same as the supposed deaths. Yeah? They're going to want a certain amount of numbers of vaccinated guinea pigs, and then things will change. But woe betide you, they will change for the worst. You think this is bad? Nothing yet. Nothing. Ain't seen nothing yet. Notice their little lids. Yeah, she's getting them teeth as well. Can I zoom in? No, don't let me do it on this. Sorry, guys. Nah. Yeah, the little pin teeth.
Safe and effective, the vaccine will be offered to the most vulnerable patients first in what will be a 7-day-a-week operation.
Okay, the reason it's going to be offered to the most vulnerable patients first, okay, is because it's going to make them seem better, quicker. It's going to take an effect better and quicker. And then guess what? It's going to be better and quicker for them because they're going to die better and quicker. Yeah? It's going to be more painful and they're going to have a shorter amount of time in between it being alive and being murdered. It won't just be a death. All these COVID-19 deaths, they're murderers. They're responsible. You're aware of this, right? Even simply down to the... even simply down to action at a distance. Because it's all black magic. Magic does exist and it's very scientific. It's just action at a distance. So them telling everyone, especially on the first lockdown, but they're trying even hard with this one because people... I've noticed, I went out the other day, first day in about a week. About a week. Yeah. I've been working out every day, eating more healthy, playing Metal Gear Solid. Survival game, right? I'm trying to get into a survival play, a survival state of mind. So, and state of heart, even more importantly. So, yeah, so I went out for the first time yesterday in about a week. And I had so much energy, and I'm walking down the road, and the atmosphere is different. No one gave a shit, but it's not. It weren't like I don't give a shit attitude. They just didn't give a shit. Like nothing had changed. No lockdown had been put in place. That's exactly how it needs to be. If they follow through with that, these fuckers won't be able to follow through with what's next. Okay. But yeah, they want them numbers to rise so that something else can rise. If you know what I mean. It would be shortly following after we can't let that happen, can we?
Comes as the UK recorded its highest daily death toll today since the middle of May. 532 more people have died.
532. Yeah. 532. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Right. So there's your 8. Yeah. Sorry, you're 9. You're 9. Okay. So that's what they're trying to rise. Yeah. The feminine Apo-Clypse. The negative female. Lilith, Kali, Eve, Horror Babylon. It's all combined. Lucifer, the feminine force. Alright?
Here's our medical editor, Fergus Walsh.
This is liquid.
So give you your orange for 33. Alright? One goes up, the other one follows. Okay? That's duality. They're showing you duality. Okay? They're obsessed with it.
Hope. The first COVID vaccine proven to be effective in production in Germany. If regulators approve it for use.
Okay, how do you know it's proven? Because they're telling you. That's all you've got to go on, what they're telling you. And we know for a fact that everything they show and tell you is shit. It's all deception. It's all lies. Alright? So what? I don't understand. What that's meant to hold what? That's meant to hold what chemicals in the water? Doesn't hold any, does it?
Few million doses of the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine should be available.
Yeah, your Freemasonic purple, of course. Your Han purple, your reptilian worship. Yeah, of course.
In the UK before the end of the year. The Health Secretary said the military and NHS staff would be on standby to roll out a vaccine from the start of December.
The uncertainties are real and the scale of the job is vast. But I know that the NHS, brilliantly assisted by the armed services, will be up to the task.
So who is going to be first in line to receive it?
Not me. Not you.
Put simply, the older you are, the sooner you're going to be eligible for a COVID vaccine. Currently in pole position are elderly care home residents and staff. Then,
of course it is, because they want you. They want them gone. They want them gone. They're just oxygen wasters to these Canaanite cunts. Yeah, that's it. Canaanites. They want to get rid of the older and the younger. So you're left with the middle, because the middle can be enslaved. Yeah? You're not too vulnerable. You're right in the middle. If you was a bit younger, you'd have too much energy and innocence. And if you was a bit too older, you'd make up for it in your wisdom. So they're getting rid of both. You see that, right? You hear that, right?
80 and over, plus frontline NHS workers. The vaccine will then be allocated to younger age groups in bands of 5 years. But that...
Okay, again, they're just telling you and they're just showing you. Just it's there. It's right there. So they're going to work down then. They're going to work down the list, yeah? Just knocking dominoes. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah.
Is dependent on it being effective in older adults, and we're still waiting for that data. Adults under 60...
See, I'd imagine they'd go the other way too. They'd go from the children and work upwards too. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah? So it's burning the candle at both ends. You see how they... This is them. This is them. As an emotion. The emotion of psychopathy. That's what I called my poem on it, because it is an emotion. They have none, so it's the only thing they have. That is such an ugly feeling. And what it does, it has a certain... All feelings have... all feelings have a certain frequency, if you will, you know? And in that frequency, there's certain sounds, there's certain colours, there's certain certain movement of vibration. and theirs is the blackest. It's Vanta Black. It's this shit. It's how they think. Because they can't feel.
5 with underlying health conditions will also be given some priority. There should be enough doses of the Pfizer vaccine to immunise 20 million people, so younger adults may have to wait for other vaccines to come through. The Pfizer jab is not intended for children. Vaccinators will go...
Of course it isn't. They're working the other way round, see? It's only after they'll start burning the candle at both ends, right? Like giving you the wheels here. You see the wheels for the cycle? Yeah, Ouroboros. The cage.
Care homes to immunise vulnerable...
The cage. They like Zimmer frames. They do that a lot. Only the bottom, because they want to get the wheels in and they get the cage in. Yeah, the cube. The prison, the matrix.
Older residents. GP surgeries will play a crucial role. Some...
Yes, okay, purple.
...may be open 7 days a week. And large venues like sports halls are also likely to be used for mass immunisation. The Pfizer vaccine...
See, they've done a clever thing with the gloves. They make them purple, right? Okay, fair enough. But they're gloves. They're gloves, aren't they? What do you associate with the Freemasonic attire the most? For me, it's the gloves. Of course they'd make them purple.
Trials were mainly conducted in the United States and Germany. Initial findings suggest it's 90% effective at preventing COVID-19. Caution is needed, but the early results are surprising.
See, the blue ones make sense. The blue ones make sense. I used to handle food. I used to work in the kitchen. Yeah. Blue, because food isn't blue. What food is blue? That's why. You get purple food. You get beetroot. You get, you know. There's a reason for it.
Even the optimists amongst us were hoping for 50 or 60%. So this puts this vaccine straight up at the top of the league in
Full moon come out. I tell you what, he'd probably bite the cameraman.
terms of vaccines that we have and how effective they can be.
Traditional vaccines use a weakened or inactivated whole virus, but the Pfizer COVID jab uses only a tiny amount of genetic code found in the spike protein on its surface. This synthetic RNA is what prompts the immune system to recognize and remember coronavirus. This bodes well for other COVID vaccines, which also use the spike protein to create immunity. Results from the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine trials are
See how they do that mask? You see that? You see the seal of Saturn? Always. Okay. I know that some people might just put it on because it makes the mask tighter, right? It's not everyone. But you have to ask yourself why they would film just that side of it. Just the side of his face. Nothing else. Just that. And now ask yourself if you really need to ask yourself.
expected in a matter of weeks.
Yeah, no problem.
How do you feel?
I feel fine.
If they too are positive, it would be
Of
another.
course you feel fine, mate, because you are fine. Because it's not there, it's not real, it doesn't exist. It will do, though, if you take that fucking vaccine.
Decisive step out of the shadow cast by this pandemic.
Shadow cast. The shadow cast. Oh, it's not. It's the same word. Shadow cast. Yeah. Not there's a shadow being casted. Shadow cast. Yeah. To cast a spell, a dark spell, a black spell. Dark arts, black arts. Vocabulary reflects lifestyle. It also reflects a lot more, of course. It reflects what's going on inside the person's mind, right? Very rarely what's going on in their heart. That's usually seen and shown through actions. Yeah, because they speak louder than the words. The same way that feelings speak louder than thoughts. Right? Shadow casting. Catchy. See their fake little walk here. Yeah. Yeah. Show again.
How do you feel?
I feel fine.
If they too are positive, it would be another decisive
Ready? Crisis o'clock.
step out of the shadow cast by this pandemic.
And Fergus is with me now. So this vaccine could be rolled out.
Hello, Fergus.
In 3 weeks' time, if it's safe. Is 3 weeks long enough to know?
So safety, Sophie, is absolutely crucial. Pfizer says it should have 2 months follow-up safety data on all 43,500 volunteers before it applies for emergency authorization for use in the UK, Europe and the United States. Now, we've been told there have been no major adverse effects so far, but we should expect that this vaccine will have side effects. Every
They've just told you it will. Any time that, you know, it coulda, shoulda, woulda. It will. It has. It does. Okay? Look at him. You see, right? You're hearing it, right? So one of them adverse effects is going to be the true invisibility that they've said COVID has. You know, that all that shit about, well, you've got it, but you won't know you've got it until... Yeah. They got that idea from this because the vaccine is going to basically have like a cloaking mechanism. It won't do anything for quite a while. Probably years. Okay? But once it's mixed, once it's combined, it activates. Alright? And then you fucking drop dead like flies. Just taking a minute. Okay. Yeah, so yeah, we can't let this happen. Can't.
From aspirin upwards does, and no vaccine is 100% safe, but you have to balance that against the risks from COVID. We had more than 500 COVID-related deaths today, and then there's the issue of long COVID, which has left tens, maybe hundreds of thousands of people here in the UK with lingering health problems.
And then there's also
long COVID. Okay, yeah. I think cats got their long tongue.
the issue of how long immunity will last once you've been given the injection.
We simply don't know because the trials only began in July, but the manufacturers and other scientists hope it should provide protection for at least a year or two.
See how they emote, like they think they're so fucking convincing.
Then we may need a booster dose. Now, if the virus starts to mutate so it can evade the immune system, we might need a slightly tweaked vaccine, a booster there.
See? 3. He's giving you 3 now. That's 3 different vaccines that you're going to need. They're telling you it will mutate. But they're not, it's going to mutate, therefore you need extra vaccines. You're going to have extra vaccines that are going to make it mutate. You see? It's all backwards with them. It's all reverse. It's all inverted. It's all the opposite.
Like we do with the flu jab every winter, but all that's for the future. For now, Sophie, we remain in the...
You see that little pinchy thing they do? They always do it. You see that? See it? It's sodomy. It's the arsehole. I'm sorry. It is. So right now you're looking at 2.
...of this pandemic, and we can't lower our guard.
Fergus Walsh, thank you. Well, the latest government figures show 532 deaths were reported in the latest 24-hour period. That's people who died within 28 days of a positive COVID-19 test. It's the highest figure since the 12th of May. It means, on average, in the past week, 360 deaths were announced every day. It takes the total number...
360, okay. Of course it was. All right, love. You're 666, yeah, you're 9, okay. Most important number to them.
Across the UK to 49,770.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, plans to carry out...
77, yeah, okay. Oh, come on.
More mass testing from the end of November have been announced, including for all university students in England.
Oh, you're 49 with your 13 for ficus as well, so I'm still waking up.
With more...
Literally waking up, not waking up. I don't like that term. But yeah, I've just got up. But they've given us all the time in the world, haven't they? So, like either exists.
Is our health editor, Hugh Penn.
Getting students home for the Christmas holiday without risking the virus spreading. It's a logistical challenge.
With more, here's our health
One
editor,
moment.
Hugh Penn.
Getting students home for the Christmas holiday without risking the virus spreading. It's a logistical challenge. Today it's emerged that a week of mass COVID testing at universities in England could start at the end of the month.
Just put this out the quick. The reason they're trying to initiate this vaccination procedure, this evacuation process, just before Christmas is so that it leads into Christmas, because to them Christmas is the most important day of the entire fucking year. Okay, people think it's Halloween. Oh no. It's Christmas. Christmas is the ancient Roman festive tradition of Saturnalia. Most important day of the fucking year to them. That's why.
So what do students think?
The way students have been treated at university has been abhorrent. Like kids are trapped inside one room.
That would be great because I really want to go home to see my family, so that would be awesome.
I can't see them getting it out to tens of thousands of students across the country in a couple of weeks.
Rapid testing kits like this, with results back in 1 hour, will be used in universities. And from
Crow's foot. Tear faction. You see it on the fingers?
this week, NHS staff in England will have regular testing using the same technology. Making it more widely available is one of the government's priorities for trying to curb the virus. But the established test and trace system in England has been criticised for problems getting bookings, delays receiving results, and difficulties reaching contacts of those tests.
Do you know why? Because that way people go, do you know what, fuck it, now that the vaccine's out, we'll just get that done, then I won't have to bother anymore. Won't have to worry about it. That's why. All deliberate, all of it. Set up these little swab clinic things, you know, our little white boxes. Remember, the box is white to them, not black. We set them up, you turn up, there's no one there. You get all frustrated. You've travelled all this way, probably with your wife, you know. You're not alone, you're getting it in the ear. Yeah? You get home. And then you've got to go all over again, just for it to be empty again. After a while, you're probably going to be fucking begging for that vaccine, ain't you? That's why they did it.
Positive.
Baroness Harding, do you still believe test and trace is working?
Today, the head of Test and Trace faced questions at a Commons committee, with one MP setting out what was said to be shortcomings with the system.
Given this
My theory, my opinion on why they did it. It's all my theory, it's all my opinion, okay? And if it isn't, I'll always tell you where I got that theory or opinion from or whom. Always give credit where it's due.
catalogue of failures, should you be reconsidering your position?
Well, thank you for that report card. If we step back and compare what we've delivered versus what we said we would at the end of July, we have met the vast majority of our commitments. So we committed to building...
No, dildo hardening, you haven't. You haven't. None of you have, but okay.
Testing
pretend
capacity
you have.
to 500,000 per day by the end of October. Testing capacity today is over 500,000 a day.
It's been hard for the testing system to keep up as cases and hospital admissions have risen steadily. The latest daily reported death toll was above 500 for the first time since May, though other figures out today for the last week in October give a broader picture. One way of assessing the COVID impact is looking at the total number of deaths from all causes. This line shows the 5 years deaths above that 5.
Oh, not him, bloody hell. Oh, I was getting hungry as well. I was about to make myself some brekkie. I don't think I can now. Stomach's turning. Yeah, so that about do it for now. What do you see there, eh? We'll be back shortly. I'm just going to try and focus on the vaccine coverage of their reports at the moment. There'll be more Tear TV to come soon as well. I'm going to get Joy involved. She wanted to. At first she thought the idea was a bit silly. Then she saw the teaser trailer, the pilot, and she's like, I want to play. I want to play. I want to dress up. All right then, go on then, girl. Right, so, on that note, you shall see me again and you shall hear me again. And one day we won't see or hear them ever again. So, I love you all, whether it be on the inside or the outside.